Well, tough night for us tonight. Very disappointing. I just thought we got what we deserved in this game. That's really all I can think of. I thought Penn State, to start the game, they had better energy. I thought they were more competitive. They brought the fight to the start of the game, and I thought it knocked us back a little bit. We weren't ready. We weren't ready to compete at that level. And a lot's going to be made of the shooting, and obviously, that's when you shoot so poorly, a lot should be made of the shooting. But to me, you're not going to make shots if you don't have the right attitude starting the game. You're not going to be bailed out with making shots. I just never thought we were in attack mode. We weren't very aggressive. And then what happened is when you continue to play like that, then your defense disintegrates. And I thought as the game wore down, I thought our defense was okay early, and then as we missed shot after shot, and that became kind of a focal point of where the game was headed. I thought we lost our defense, and then they were able to push it out to 18 points, and then we started fighting. We got down 18 with 8 minutes to go, and we finally started playing, and it's just too little, too late, and just very disappointed. And I take full responsibility for that. I mean, it's my job. It's my job to have these guys ready to compete at a high level in a conference game. That's an important game for us, and I didn't do a very good job of that. So I'm very disappointed in myself for not having the guys ready to play better tonight.
Coach, obviously you guys start cold from three, pretty much cold the entire game. What are you telling the guys in the huddle?
Well, I'm trying to get them to not think about it so much. I thought for the most part, I thought their zone was effective. It was very, they started a big team. They started a team with a lot of length, and I thought it pushed us out a little bit. So I thought what I was telling our guys initially was I thought like some of Aaron's first couple threes were really deep ones. I thought they had pushed him out. And those are harder, even Trey's. I thought we were shooting a lot of NBA threes. So I was trying to tell them we needed to get more into the operating area, that we still have to take our shots, but we got to get in. We got to try to get in there. We got to drive the ball, and that's because they were extending so far out. We were trying to set up for those guys to get into the gaps and drive or hit the post. And, and then I thought we got some looks after that, and then we just couldn't make those. And then when you're at home and it's not everyone knows you can't hit a shot. So every shot becomes like, the groaning and I'm not blaming. I mean, that's is what it is. I'm doing that inside too. I mean, you're trying to have somebody or something ignite you, to get you going. And, we just weren't able to do that until it was too late.
Coach, you played limited minutes, but how did you assess Alex's performance tonight?
Well, I wanted to play him a little bit. I knew shape-wise, I was hoping to play him, about 10 minutes tonight if I could. I knew conditioning-wise because he hasn't done a whole lot in about a month. So he's feeling pretty good. It was great to see him out there. I know how badly he wanted to be out there. I thought because of that he was a little over-anxious. He took a couple rush shots. I get it. I'm not blaming him, but I thought he was over-anxious when he came in, and we just tried to tell him that he's got to let the game come to him. He's been out for a while. He's got to just get out there and kind of get his rhythm back. And hopefully with each game he can get a little healthier and we can get him back to the level what he was playing before he got hurt.
Will Alex be on minutes restriction in the next game?
I'm not sure. We haven't. A lot of it's going to be how sore is he tomorrow. We have a pretty quick turnaround playing on Tuesday. He wasn't really on a minutes restriction tonight. In my head, I was trying to see if I could get him about 5 minutes a half just because I just wanted him to get his feet back wet playing. And, I feel like those other two guys are doing a good job, so I don't want to sacrifice, the minutes that they're giving us too. So that was just my own in my head. There was nothing told to me that he had to play a certain amount of minutes.
Chris, after tonight, you guys are now in conference play, last in three-point percentage in the Big Ten. Are you still content taking about 40% of your shots from three, and what do you think it's going to take to get the team out of this slump here?
Yeah, I think we have to take open ones. Yeah, so, it's, we have to take open shots, and, you got to make them. It's the first thing Pat Chambers said to me at the end of the game. We made shots, and you missed them. So we can analyze a lot. They made 9 threes, we made 3. And sometimes We went up to Minnesota, they missed shots, and we made a ton. So, sometimes it's a make or miss game. And, it's concerning, though, because to me, we've shot a lot more poorly at home. So, and you don't want to make too much of it. I don't know if the guys are over anxious or they're putting a little bit extra pressure on themselves, but I feel like we shoot more freely on the road. And hopefully that's a good thing because we play 2 road games the next 2 games. So, but, I can't tell the guys to stop shooting. I mean, that's Aaron Falzone's a shooter. I mean, if Trey Dempsey's open, he's got to shoot. If Bryant's open, he's got to shoot. If Taphorn's open, he's got to shoot. I mean, I'm not going to tell those guys not to shoot. We just have to make sure we're taking good ones. And I thought we got a lot of good ones. Now, we took some bad ones, and like I said, I thought some of ours early were too far. And part of that was their zone. I thought they did a good job of getting us out on the floor just a few feet outside of our normal comfort line.
Did you tell the guys to do anything different offensively at halftime, or did you say keep shooting, shooters shoot?
No, we said we needed to drive the ball, and that we were saying that in the first half too because they were extending. So, but again, I'm not going to tell good shooters not to shoot. So I told them to flush what had ever happened. I actually told them at halftime I felt we were in a decent position because we had made nothing and we were only down 7. Usually if you shoot that poorly, you're going to be down 15 to 20 points. In the game. So I was trying to be positive with them because I felt like 7 points was still very manageable, as poorly as we played in the first half. We just weren't able to get ourselves out of it. We tried to regroup. We talked about what they were trying to do to us. We talked about where we wanted to get it. And, we talked about driving the ball. And I actually thought in the second half we got even better looks. When you're that cold, sometimes mentally it was that kind of night. And, again, disappointing.
Having lost 3 conference games at home, how much more important does getting one of these next road games become?
Well, I just think anytime, you lose a home game, you got to try to, if you want to be a good team, you got to try to make it up, at some point on the road. And, really, I don't want to it was not a good night for us. And it's a very disappointing loss. And we have to play a lot better. But we have 12 more opportunities in this league, and there's a lot of ebbs and flows in this league. And it's a long season, and you have nights you play really well. You have a 4 or 5 game stretch you play really well. We've gone through this 6-game stretch. We've won 3, we've lost 3. We're going to be on the road. We have a tough stretch ahead of us with 3 road games out of our next 4 against really good teams. But we can't look at it like that. We have to just focus on, listen, we got to come back tomorrow. And we got to get ourselves ready to play Maryland on Tuesday night and try to put something together to play our best game up at College Park and see what we can do.
Coach, what did Penn State do to take away Brian McIntosh on the pick and roll?
Well, I mean, they were playing zone the whole game. So a lot of times the zone, it's harder to get into your pick and roll action because everybody's zoned up. So you're doing more zone play, even though we do a lot of pick and roll in our zone. So I think that was I think that's why they played a lot of zone. I think it took us out of doing a lot of our pick and roll stuff. And so, I mean, I think that was there. You'd have to ask Coach Chambers, but it looked like that's why they went to the zone. They went to a bigger team, and I think they wanted to use their length and try to just take us out of our screen and roll game and make us have to play zone offense. And tonight it was effective. All right, thanks, guys.